First off in the list is the Power Shake, or what I like to call liquid sunshine. My favorite flavor is the apple berry flavor. I've tried the other flavor and it is a little plain for me, so I like the apple taste. The second thing I like to do is I like to add hydrogen water to this green drink, because the hydrogen, the extra hydrogen, instead of escaping out of the water, will have a tendency to go into the plant matter, and it essentially supercharges the antioxidants that are in the green drink. So it's just one more way to get a little bit more oomph out of what I eat. In my research of Purium products, I found that their drying process, they don't use high heat. It's like 88 degrees, so that it keeps the phytonutrients and the nutrients and all the cell walls intact. I like to mix it, then I put an ice cube in it because I'm using hydrogen water, and if the temperature of the drink is cooler, the hydrogen stays in there a little bit longer, plus it tastes much better. Second on our list is Biome Medic. This gut microbiome is so important, but there's a killer on and in most foods, unless you grow your own, and it's called glyphosate. And you know it's classed as an herbicide. Biome Medic not only helps our body get rid of this poison, but it helps restore the biome in the gut, because everything is so important. The older we get, the more glyphosate buildup that happens. Your neurotransmitters actually pick up 74% of their signals from your gut. So the way we think is directly influenced by what we consume, at least 74% anyway. You know, 80% of your immune system gets its signals from the gut. When your gut suffers, remember, so do you. Okay, next, number 4, we have the Super Amino 23s. They are pre-digested and are easy for the body to absorb, so that they're ready in 23 minutes. If you eat protein source, how long before the aminos are ready for your muscles' use? Well, we don't exactly know, but with the pre-digested, they can actually calculate that it's 23 minutes. Each tablet also contains 10 grams worth of protein gathered amino acids. Okay, number 3, we have the Cant Beat This. It's a proprietary blend from Purium of beet powder and a whole bunch of other ingredients. You can look at the ingredients that I have shown here. But what this does is it purifies the blood, and it brings with it nitric oxide, which is quite efficient at shuttling nutrients and oxygen around. It also swells up the blood veins and then relaxes the walls so that more blood flow, and it helps clean the sides of the walls a bit. It also directly helps produce ATP, which is the fuel that our cells prefer. Every time I look at the ingredients, I just love it, and so I want to up my dose. You know, I'm not really a fan of the taste because I just have kind of an aversion to the taste of beets, but I know they're so good for me. I put them in capsules, and I take the capsules. You know, it's like I take 4 capsules in the morning, and it's like drinking a cup of coffee without the jitters. I just love this stuff. Okay, number 5, we have Spirulina. Spirulina is one of my favorites. It's so complete profile. Spirulina helps increase your endurance. It has one of the most nutrient-dense profiles. It's got B1, B2, B3, B6, some bioavailable B12. It has vitamin C and E, beta-carotene, and because it comes from the sea, it has dense mineral profile as well. You know, interesting reason that it has such a wide spectrum profile is because it grows in pools of brackish water. This is where freshwater streams meet the ocean, and so it has that mixture of essentially land and ocean of minerals, so it's a wide range. It's also called spirulina because it continues to grow in a spiral, and the outside of the cell wall is made of pure ATP. Okay, number 6, we have Superxanthem. It's a blue-green algae that helps reduce free radicals to the muscles, and it helps reduce lactic acid buildup. It provides a phytoprotection for our cells. You know, algae, they have a great relationship with the sun, and when we consume it, we share some of the benefits, like no sunburn. So spirulina and xanthan are both algae. Chlorella fits in that too, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, number 7 on our list is called kamut. It's essentially wheatgrass, but it's the story about this particular company's kamut that I like. You know, it was found in recent times in Egypt in the Valley of the Kings. They found some wheat in an urn, and there was a serviceman there from the U.S. military, and he took 2 cups of this wheat, supposedly brought it back to Montana, planted all 2 cups, and 7 sprouts came out of that, and so they continued to grow that. But when they tested this wheat, they found that it was very, very simple. It hadn't been genetically modified, and so that makes me a little bit happier about consuming the grass coming from it. So that's, you know, purity is very important to me. Number 8 on our list are called Superlights. These babies are quite an interesting supplement because as I researched this, I found out that the Purium company, what they did was they tested athletes' sweat to see exactly the sweat profile of mineral content that was in there. And so they've tried to replace what we actually exert during workouts back into these Superlights. You can look at the label there and see there's a lot of Himalayan salt in there. Number 9, Chaga. It's loaded with 200 bioactive metabolites, many of which support human health. This has polysaccharides, which are good for the gut, melanin, which are good for your eyes and skin, and triterpenes. Now, triterpenes, they have a wonderful antiviral properties. They're an antioxidant, anti-ulcer, anti-gastritis. Chaga is also good at balancing blood sugar levels as well as cholesterol. And last, but by no means least, it helps reduce oxidative stress in the brain. Who doesn't want to be a little smarter? Number 10, Moringa. Now this is an amazing tree. I could go on and on about Moringa, but I won't. We'll just talk about the Moringa leaf. You know, it's just packed with nutritive value. Every part of the tree is edible, but the dried leaf, it's used as an antioxidant, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, and antimicrobial. It's got 7 times the vitamin C of oranges, 10 times the vitamin A than carrots, 17 times more calcium than milk, 9 times more protein than yogurt in its complete protein, folks, 15 times more potassium than bananas, and 25 times more iron than spinach. This is why I put Moringa in my morning smoothie and I take capsules in the evening. I just can't get enough of this stuff. Moving on to number 11, Chlorella. Chlorella is the oldest known plant on Earth that has lots of chlorophyll, and it detoxes metals. It's anti-aging and helps regulate cell growth. So it's wonderful for the body. Now these last 2 are cleansing supplements, and so they're to be used intermittently. I like to take the bentonite clay, or its real name, calcium aluminosilicate. I like to take that 2 capsules for 3 days. Calcium aluminosilicate has a very good toxin removal, as it can move around in the body unhindered, scavenging toxins. It's very potent stuff. Like I said, if you take too much of it, it can actually plug you up pretty quick. So 2 capsules 3 times a day. My goal is to absorb any toxins that may appear in my intestinal tract. So I drink plenty of water with it, and remember, it's maintenance. I only do this twice a year. Okay, the super cleanser. I usually follow after I've taken the bentonite clay. I wait for about 2 or 3 days until I am sure that all the clay has exited the body. Then I take the super cleanse. Because the super cleanse, it's helpful at removing parasites. It has black walnut hull, clove, wormwood, marshmallow root, and they're all wonderful at removing parasites. So I take this supplement for 10 days, twice a year.